He has like a little bit of almost, well, like everything almost. And then you have just the little reddened areas, which are, which stage is this one?
One.
Stage 1. So the doctors ordered me to do a dressing change on Seymour because it's getting, we have to change it every day. Even though the reason it has this blue line is because then if it gets moist, you'll know you have to change it. So anyway, so I'm going to first come in and wash my hands. Say hello there, Mr. Butts. My name is Cheryl, and I'm going to be your nurse today, and I'm going to change that dressing. Could I just have your first name and your birth date? Tells me that's correct. Now, when was the last time you had pain medication? He goes, well, about an hour ago. Well, then that'll work really well, because this might be a little uncomfortable. I'm going to have to irrigate it. I'm going to have to take a culture. And so if you could just lie, please, prone, I would appreciate. I know you don't like that, but the TV's over there. I'll give you the colic. You can watch TV. Let me know if it hurts at all, because I am going to have to be packing that wound, because you know you have some tunneling going on. So we're going to have to pack that. Okay, if then there's no more questions, then I'll go ahead and start. You're going to have to take this in increments. First of all, I'm going to remove it, and I'm going to irrigate it. Don't need this yet. This I do. Look at it. Make sure it's what I need. It is saline. If I had a wastebasket, I would lip it. Check again. Palming it. Yep. And it's not expired. But my first time at date time initial. You know what I forgot? Do you want to grab me Chuck's down there? And there's something else. Okay, Seymour, I'm going to need you to raise up just a little bit if you don't mind. Now, if he had a lot of drainage coming from there, I'd want to put gloves on, but he doesn't. It's pretty contained. That's a long one. Just kind of raise up. Thank you.
Does it just on the one side, or would you put it underneath him completely?
No, because I'm going to tip him.
Okay.
Okay, when I irrigate. So I'm not going to try to tip it as much because I want everybody to see. But normally I would do this with him.
Okay.
And I'd have a pillow under there. And if you wanted to, you could pull it up so it wouldn't get wet. But it's mainly going to run down here, and I'll show you what I'll catch it in. I'm going to use an emesis basin. First of all, I think I'll open this up. So I'm going to irrigate. I'm going to have to open this because I'm going to have to pat it dry. You don't want any irrigant in the wound if I'm going to take a culture. We'd go toward the big edge. Does that hurt? Okay, I'll try and be careful. All toward the middle. I'm going to look at the drainage. Color, amount, consistency. I don't see anything. Look. I didn't move these. I'm going to put them back in there because I want to show you what it really is like. These are like your iodoform packing, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. It's usually packed into the tunnels. Okay, nothing there. Maybe a little seriously. I'm going to have you turn on your side, okay, Seymour? First of all, I want to take this packing out. I want to show you. This is called iodoform, and it is a medicated strips. They come in different size strips. You guys do not throw this away, so go through your gloves at the end, and I get them wet, and we just drape them over and let them dry and put them back, because otherwise there'll be none. And I've had to cut them because they're really, really long. So that's what they are, and I'm going to replace those. I just wanted to show you how you are going to pack it. So if you could tip to your side and just imagine that he's tipped a little bit. The bulb syringe. There are piston syringes, which they are actually like a huge syringe. And those are like, let's say the doctor wanted you to debride it that way. They don't have the catheter tip at the end. They have a little tip. And so what you do is you can apply a needle, pull it up, and it has a lot of force. And you can actually debride that way as well. This one, I'm not debriding. This one, I'm just irrigating. Because I have to do a culture. Because the doctor's afraid he may have an infection. So you have to irrigate before you take the culture because you want all the exudate and everything off of there as much as you can before you take the culture. And you want the culture to be of the healthy tissue. If you can see here, the red beefy, and then you have the slough, you have the bone. You can see it. So he wants me to take it of the healthy tissue, not of the slough, not of the eschar, not of the necrosis. We don't care what's in there. Okay, so these will fit under a person much better. They will actually just really go well with the skin. So I'm going to do like this. You're going to start at the top, and you're just going to irrigate like this. Try not to get on the skin. Don't touch the tip, because you're going to go back in. And then if you could just turn a little bit, please. I'm going to put this icky stuff away. Off somewhere. Not on this. Now I'm going to take my gloves off because this was nasty drainage. Now I want to just dab it to get off all that drainage. get it like a flower, and you're going to dab once on the other side. On the other side. One last side. We also save these and dry these out, believe it or not. We dry everything. Okay, it's pretty dry. If not, I would have to do some different one. I'll pick it up later. Now I want to, I forgot something. In the first drawer next to the sink are the little measuring, the round measuring. Does somebody want to grab that? That's not filming. We're going to measure this. Do not touch the area. About 10 centimeters long, and go to the widest point. About 8 centimeters long. Now I want to measure the depth. Better keep this out and just put it right here. The deepest part. About 4.5 centimeters deep.
You want to go into the tunnel part?
No, because you'll never be, if you probe, you don't want to ever probe a tunnel. That's up to the doctor to figure that out, but you can have several tunnels. We have 1, 2, probably about maybe 3 tunnels in there. Okay, now I want you just try not to move, okay? You've got some drainage on your skin that I want to get off. It's skins, you don't have to be quite so perfect. He's got some fluid. I'm noting what it looks like in there.
Did you put down Gucky?
Huh?
Is Gucky the word?
Would you be able to have like a little notepad and like write down your measurements and stuff?
Yeah, when you take your gloves off, you could do that. Yeah, because I've already forgot. So I have to write mine down, whether it be my arm, my hand, I don't care. Okay, now I'm going to take the culture. Take off the lid. Hold it. I'm left-handed, remember. Okay, when you do this, you make a Z and you roll. So you go like this in the healthy area. Much easier on real skin. Get all the healthy red beefy. Careful. You've got agar, which is the food for the bacteria. You want to keep it viable and not die. So you press it to release it, keeps it viable. Make sure once you press it, you make sure that lid's back on. Put it off to the side. These are fluffs. Wow. Maiden fluffs. And these are usually very airy and fluffy because you want to put those on first, but you want these to be moist because you're doing a moist to dry. Open that. When you guys are practicing, you already use the things that are already open. When you're doing your test out, you'll use one 4x4 because a one that's sealed. I want to see that. And sealed cotton tipped applicator. These don't need to be sealed. And a sealed ABD. These are your ABDs. Okay, now I'm going to put that. I need this. If you want an occlusive dressing, you will have to make sure all the sides are taped. My doctor doesn't want an occlusive one. He wants a non-occlusive, so I'm only going to put 3 strips on. I'm going to pack it now, okay? You've got some tunneling, and we have to be sure that we put some medicated packing in there, and that'll help to heal, and so it'll start to close up. These are usually moistened. I'm just going to give just a teeny little bit because they're usually already moistened, but we've dried them out so much. Don't saturate these guys, but these are usually pretty moist too. That's why you have to be careful that tip when we were irrigating doesn't touch the wound because you're going to use it. If it does, you got to get more solution.
I used to have to do that to my husband.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. They had to specially train
Did
me.
Did they use iodoform?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they had me like make sure that I knew how much to use, how to cut it, how to pack it. And
Yeah, you don't want to vigorously pack it. Just gently. And on the real person, it goes a lot easier. You stick. I'm going to put the fluffs. You want to pick them up, kind of fluff them. You don't want to touch that side because that's going to go in the wound. The dry. You don't want to touch anything on the inside. You always do the middle first. Why do you think? Because we need your help. Okay, put the bed down, I'll be right back. Now you come back, and if you don't have it, if you did it here, everything could fall out. This way you secure it. So how do you feel? Okay, good. I'm going to clean up here. Looks like your pad wasn't wet, so we're okay with that. Now, if you had, usually I make kind of a mess, and I didn't. If that were the case, when I take this out, I would roll this up and take that out at the same time. Because remember, this has had drainage on it. I don't want to do a sterile dressing change with this underneath there, but there is nothing wet. But I'm going to take this out. Just don't touch the inside with your dirty hands. Don't poof it in your face. There's a lot of bacteria there. Save these because we can use. And run this down to